Okay, so who orders a survey when buying a house? It's been in my experience now that the best people to handle this is somebody at the title company that's going to be handling the closing. They got all the contacts and they get good rates and they're pretty quick service. We try to do this on our own, and sometimes it's just a real big hassle and it's delayed and can't get things moving. All right, but before you do that, might want to check the contract. If you are indeed in a contract, where to go to find out who's going to be paying for it in a time frame. If you're selling a house, you may have a survey already, so you might have a certain amount of days to provide that survey to the title company. And I'll show you in the Texas real estate contract where that information is located, so you can make a determination of which way you need to go. All right. All right, this is the 1 to 4 family residential contract resale provided by TREC, Texas Real Estate Commission. Today we're going to be talking about the survey, which is in paragraph 6. Title policy, I'll cover in another video. I believe it's in section C here. If you see, survey must be made by a registered professional land surveyor, acceptable title company and buyer's lender. That's of course if you have a lender. What this is saying is the survey's got to be bona fide. All right. Now you got one box. I'll check only one box. If you are the buyer, you should be getting with your agent on which one to check. And sometimes the property will be advertised as seller does not have an existing survey, and they're not going to be paying for it. So if they want you to pay for it as the buyer, then you're going to have to check this box off right here. Now most of the time, section 1 will be filled out. So as a seller, you want to pay attention to this. Within X amount of days after the effective date of this contract, that can be found on page 8 of this contract. That's when both parties agree to it and it's executed by the broker. It says, seller shall furnish to buyer and title company seller's existing survey of the property and residential real property affidavit. That's the T47 that I covered in another video, basically saying that nothing's changed on the survey and or something has been changed or added that you noted it on that affidavit. Then it's going to be up to the title company and the lender to accept it or not. Now, next section is in bold letters for a reason. If seller fails to furnish the existing survey or affidavit within time prescribed, which means X days from the effective date of the contract, it says buyer shall obtain a new survey at seller's expense, no later than 3 days prior to closing date. Okay, here you got to be careful as a seller, because if you have an existing survey, you need to get it to the title company as soon as possible if you're under a contract on a sale here. All right, so as soon as you find out what title company is going to be handling that, make sure you send the survey, if you have it, along with the T47 affidavit. Make sure it gets notarized before you send it, and make sure it's in an email that gets time stamped or have somebody sign for it. That way you're covered and you're not going to incur that expense unexpectedly. Now, if the existing survey affidavit is not acceptable to title company or buyer's lender, buyer shall obtain a new survey at. Now, one of these is going to be checked off, and you as a seller just needs to be aware of that. Now, as a seller, if I have an existing survey, I know it's good, I'm going to make that buyer pay for it if it's not acceptable to their lender or the title company, because I know it's good. All right, but that's negotiable. All right, we already talked about number 2. The other reason somebody might want to check number 2 is because if they are a cash buyer, they might want to make the offer a little bit more appealing to the seller. All right, the number 3 section. Within X amount of days, effective date of this contract, seller expense shall furnish a new survey to buyer. Now, the buyer in this instance is outright trying to get the seller for a brand new survey. All right, and that's going to be up to the seller. Again, everything is negotiable, so I just want you to be aware of that. And so, who's paying for who? Always follow up with the title company as well. Now, on page 8, this is exactly what I'm talking about. As far as this is page 8. This is the effective date of the contract right here. When the complete contract has been reviewed and signed by both parties and executed by the broker, it goes into effect. All right, I hope this helps, and we'll cover other portions of this contract in other videos. All right, I hope you found that information useful. All right, so if you want more information like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell, and you'll get more like this. If you get too many of them, you can always unsubscribe. By the way, if anything on this video was unclear, if you need more clarification, please send me a message down in the comment section and or by email on my About page, and I'll do what I can to clarify that up for you. Also, please send me your questions and or concerns about anything related to real estate. I'm going to do the best I can to help you out any way possible. So you don't even have to call me or ever talk to me. I'll just provide it on the video for you. Take care. God bless.